Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Mr. Warner.
Here.
Ms. Rupp.
Here.
Mr. Meyerholtz.
Here.
Ms. Susser.
Here.
Mrs. Patel.
Here.
Ms. Kokowski.
Here.
Has everybody had a chance to look at the agenda? Do we need to make any changes to the agenda?
Nope.
Okay, now we're at the 6 minutes from the last council meeting. Everybody had a chance to read it. Is there any additions or corrections? If not, we just need a motion to mark as read.
So moved.
We have a first. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Old business. Final reading of resolution 2025-16. This is a resolution authorized the use of the public entities pool, which is PEP, employees' dishonesty and faithful performance of duty coverage in lieu of individual security bonds for officers, employees, and appointed pursuant to the ORC. Is there any?
We also just need to confirm the coverage, which I know is in the administrative process report, but it'll have to be part of the resolution.
Do we know what that is?
100,000 per employee, which costs us a total of $750 a year.
Okay.
Well, I should say per person, not per employee,
Per
per
person.
person of coverage.
That's an additional 750 for the,
Currently, we pay $450. What is it?
no, 250.
Yeah, it's one, 250.
So it's an additional
500.
Yeah.
If everybody's all right with that, we just need a motion to accept the resolution 2025-16.
I motion.
Second.
First and second, roll call, Mr. Warner,
Yes.
Ms. Rupp,
Yes.
Mr. Meyerholtz.
Yes.
Ms. Susser,
Yes.
Mrs. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Kokowski.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Erica, were you second on that one?
Mhm.
Okay.
Final reading of resolution 2025-17. This is the resolution for EMS contracts. This will be the final reading. In doing such, this reading, we do need to negotiate or set the contract rates for this before we finalize this. So I know there was some discussion around as far as proposals. There was proposal initially of a certain price, and then there was a proposal last meeting, a certain price. They would totally differ. So it's up to council to set those rates. So
I have a proposal that I'd like to put on the floor.
good.
For Weston and Milton Township, year one would be $7,500. Year two for both of them would be 10,000. Year three would be 10,000. Liberty Township and Jackson Township would be $10,000 for each of the 3 years. And for Custer and Milton Township, no contracts.
So you're making that a motion. We have a
Custer and Milton Center.
Or Milton Center.
Milton Center,
And
Milton Township absorbing all that 7,500.
did Milton Township agree to it?
Nobody's agreed to anything. We haven't
Presented
presented
nothing to
nothing
him.
yet.
Mm,
So he has a motion on the floor. Need a second? If not, we need to go back to a discussion.
That was sort of what I was thinking, but I think that Liberty Township and Jackson Township should pay 15. Because we are going further. And from my understanding, Jackson Township on the other side of the tracks with North Baltimore, they have a contract for what, 45,000? So we have to look at that. I'm sorry if I cut off my hand, I'm going over the tracks for a cheaper price.
I don't think that's the way it goes, but I understand what you're saying. Jackson Township on the north side or the south side of the tracks is being done by a full-time department, and that's why it warrants that. Now, Liberty Township and Jackson Township, and even Milton Township and even Weston Township, all pay loaded miles. So whether we go out there and do a lift assist, yeah, it's no different than we do probably 10 or 15 lift assists in the village and or Milton, even Custer and all that.
Yeah, the contract is mainly for contracting for our services, such as being an insurance policy, you know, we're available 24/7, 365 days a year. Vision was to try and make it fair for everybody in the same, because it is what I call a quasi district. If we were a district that were paying levy monies and what have you, we'd all be paying the same. Or all the townships would be paying the same from that standpoint.
I mean,
So for the amount of money that they're paying, like I stated a couple of different times before, a competitive district or a comparable district, I should say, comparable district, such as Grand Rapids and Washington Township for Northwest 190, they're paying per year, per individual population wise. They're paying almost $200 a year per person for their coverage. With what we are offering to our townships, based on the population and coverage, we're paying less than $8 per person per year.
but with Liberty, didn't at first when it got taken on, was it at 10,000 and they told you, hey, that's not enough?
Well, they have a levy out for them. They loved our, at that time, they loved our service from when I was told, and they were willing to pay more. And when someone's willing to pay more, why would you not take it?
I think that, I mean, with us buying a new ambulance, we need to be very mindful of that.
Mhm.
That's $5,000 going towards that.
And like I said, this is up to council, but the average run per entity, township location, is fairly the same, with the exception of Jackson Township. We have no data on that, but the data shows it's only 7 runs a year so far. And that they did that study. So it's open to whatever, but we just need to be mindful that it's not like one person's getting more runs than the other one. It's more universally based because the run volume still stays averaged, whatever that may be. 130 runs a year per entity,
Mhm.
with the exception of not knowing no Jackson Township.
Would you like the idea of presenting it to the Milton Township instead of the 3 entities, Custer, Milton Center, Milton Township? Because it took Milton Center so long this year to return anything. Makes me worried for next year because I know that if they disband, we won't be able to refund our money, recoup our money from anywhere on the contract.
And that whole entity over there, Milton Township, Milton Center, Custer, is all encompassed by Milton Township. And they all pay the same fire levy, just like Weston and Weston Township do. So
My idea was since Weston Township or Weston Town would be like us, just take the villages out completely.
we just need to have to go to the drawing board. We're not gonna make it back, so we need to make a decision.
I'll go ahead and second Rob's motion.
Your second and Rob, 7,500 first year for Milton Township and Weston Township. 10,000 for the second and third year, and 10,000 straight up for Liberty and Jackson.
Yes.
We have a first and we have a second. Go roll call. Mr. Warner,
Yes.
Ms. Rupp,
Yes.
Mr. Meyerholz,
Yes.
Ms. Susser,
Yes.
Mrs. Patel,
No.
Ms. Kukowski.
Yes.
That'd be a 5-1 with the pass. So we'll get that drawn up. Okay, now with that taken care of, now we're going to adopt or authorize the resolution of 2025-17. This is a resolution approving the authorization of the mayor to execute emergency medical service contracts. Anything else we need to talk about this? If not, we just need a motion to approve resolution 2025-17.
So moved.
First, we have a second.
A second.
Roll call. Mr. Warner,
Yes.
Mr. Rupp,
Yes.
Mr. Meyerholz.
Yes.
Ms. Suser.
Yes.
Mrs. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Kukowski.
Yes.
Motion. Okay, next thing on the agenda is the right-of-way purchase. I know I had some reservations on this. I don't know if everybody else did, but it seemed like our reservation or my reservation that I brought up was should not be affected. I'm not a lawyer, but a lot of legal mumbo jumbo in this contract, but all this is going to be a resolution to authorize over the air, above ground rights right away, according to what they wrote. Am I correct on this? We have an email documenting from them stating that such memorial out there won't be hindered in any way, and or blocked. It's just an over the air thing. So that was my reservation on that. Does anybody else have any reservations on that? If not, we're going to have to make this an emergency, so there'll have to be suspending of the rules. So if there's no other conversation on that, I just need a motion.
Did you have something to say?
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm here to give you guys an update on this. So the contract itself or the easement itself went back and forth for a couple of weeks, tweaking some of the language such as the confidentiality clause, things like that. Obviously, you guys, as a political subdivision, can't keep a lot of these things confidential. They recognized that they have approved all changes that I suggested. I raised the issues that were apparently raised at one of the earlier meetings. One, about the memorial, and two, about the extent of the use of this easement area. And this morning I received a response. They said that one, they have instructed or working with their contractors to preserve the memorial untouched. And two, that the easement area of this parcel will not have any infrastructure within it. It'll just be poles on neighboring adjacent properties and just aerial lines over the easement. So there shouldn't be any physical construction or change to the ground on this easement, according to the response I received this morning.
Do they control that whole area? Let's say that someone else, another utility such as cable or somebody else, wanted the rights to go under it, over it, whatever. Do they have the say so on that only?
This easement is exclusive to
Okay,
them.
okay.
Thank you for reaching out to them. So if that is all the discussion, just need a motion to suspend the rules. We have a first, we have a second.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Okay.
We do roll call.
Oh, roll call, sorry. Gosh, man. I was doing. Mr. Warner,
Yes.
Mr. Rupp,
Yes.
Mr. Meyerhold.
Yes.
Ms. Suser, Mrs. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Kukowski.
Yes.
All right, now, with that being said,
You gotta do the passage of it.
now we need to do the passage of this thing, which is be the emergency thing, and I'm gonna find it here. So 18. This is a resolution approving and authorizing the mayor to execute the settlement agreement and release of the utility easement and declaring an emergency. So if that's no discussion on that, I just need a first and a second.
So moved.
We have a first, we have a second.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Warner. No. Ms. Rupp,
Yes.
Mr. Miles,
Yes.
Ms. Fisher,
Yes.
Mrs. Patel,
No.
Ms. Kukowski.
No,
That's 3-3 is my vote, right? The decision comes up to me.
See, it doesn't matter. If it's passing as emergency, you need 5 votes.
So now just do that 3. Now we're just going to do 3 readings then, right? Okay. We'll continue this to be a reading number 1 then.
thank you.
And then we have the rural business development grant discussion. Does anybody have anything on that? That would be that parking lot thing, right?
Yep, Christie has been trying to get a hold of the USDA, but with the shutdown, they are not able to be reached. So we don't have an update on the questions that we had.
And then we still gonna be able to, wasn't there a timeline on this?
They held the money. So they're just still waiting for us to get back, but there's nobody in their office to get back to, so. I guess at this time, there's no for an answer.
Is there any discussion between us then? If not, we'll just make this
This is for the parking lot.
parking lot behind.
I mean, the question that we left it at is if we can change the scaling and still get the money.
Which we can't,
We don't know.
there's nobody there, right? I mean,
Right, yeah.
so, I mean, we're still on board and trying to find out the scope of practice of the work, so. Well, we're going, if it's all right, we're going to keep that into old business and we'll have another round of discussion on that. Hopefully the government coming back. Reports. Mayor, I have nothing at this time. Then we have this officer.
I have anything.
Okay. We have administrator. There is stuff in the folder. I will speak on it. Get back to where I was at, so. He picked up the wood chipper from the shop and he stated that everything is working and running properly, so. He helped do help for the preparation of the Fall Fest. He was off work due to sick. He did have a surgery on Monday. He is fine now. JPX did start the drainage project on Sycamore Street. He helped unload some product for Sycamore Street. He did some online training, mowed some grass. He said he's still waiting on Edison to move the electric at the bus garage. He did reach out to the gentleman on this and has not got back with him yet. He said he's not feeling too well today, so must have been out in the weather too much yesterday. So today playing catch up, so it's better he stay there at home. Yep, I think that's about it. Does anybody have anything for Harold that we can relay back to him? Okay. Code enforcement, which is Ken, and he's not here. October 6th, he called the property owner of 0 Main Street, new house, regarding sewer sanitation. He has talked to the district and will be installing a grinder sump and tie into the westerly sanitary sewer manhole. Reviewed the lot split and legal description from the survey at 0 Main Street, sent it back, approved for both. October 9th, he signed the original document approving that lot split on 0 Main Street. October 10th, he received a phone call from a resident on Summer Street complaining about feral cats and issues, and that what could be done to remedy the situation. He let her know that as long as the current ordinances was being followed, that there was nothing he could do. She should make council aware of the ongoing issue. Apparently cats got over her privacy fence and into a pen that had her puppies confined in, causing damage and vet bills to her puppies. October 12th, he received a call from the resident of Maple regarding a fence issue. He provided her with a survey at the village. as the village would not involve themselves in property line location issues. October 20th, he sent a note to Stephanie regarding the issue that observed while driving through town, whatever that may be. And that was it. So I also did get, referring to the feral cats, that's the reason why I didn't report on. I did get a such email that I forwarded it to all council. So we'll have to address that on the committee if it needs to be. I mean, we've already addressed multiple feral cat issues.
Well, it sounds like it needs to be brought up again. So are we moving it to committee? So it was on community development before. So I think we
Which one do you guys want to move it to?
go back to community development.
I emailed her back already and told her that it sounded like an issue to be brought up with the sheriff. Because it's a failure of a property owner to maintain control of their own animals. There's,
And I understand there's a problem with enforcement that we have here. So, anything we do. We could ban people from not feeding them, but we can't enforce them from not feeding.
We have rules on certain things, but once an animal crosses into somebody else's yard, it becomes, that property is now
So-
an issue. So
Are you saying that the cats that she's complaining about are not feral cats? They're actually owned?
they're coming from somebody else's house. The way that I was reading it, it sounds like the person is refusing to trap the cats, which would be an issue for the sheriff.
Okay.
I did encourage her that she can trap animals on her property.
Especially since he has damages and bills. That would be more of a sheriff thing.
more of a civil matter at this point, but we'll take it back to community development. You made that motion. And you said the same thing?
No,
Did anybody else?
No, I think everyone's going to community.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
So we're gonna move it back to community development. We have first and a second. All fair say aye.
Aye.
Right.
All opposed. Okay, we'll go back to community development. Okay. Committee reports, administrative process from 10/13.
Okay, in attendance, Jessica Sousa, Rob Meyerholz, Craig Warner, Stephanie, Rick Easterwood, Brittany Kukowski. The 2026 budget cuts to get within the revenue included many topics, like road paving, sheriff's contracts, and part-time hours. Our current spending, our spending threshold is at 14.75. We would prefer that to be at 25%. We won't know what we are in 2026 until we get our official revenue back. The sheriff contract, the discussion recommends decreasing the monthly rate by 3,000, which equates to about 26 hours per week. That's down from the current 40 hours a week we have now. These hours are patrol only, so that doesn't affect 911 calls. Road paving, the original proposal was to cut the budget down to 60,000 from 75. But due to the recommendation of reducing sheriff's hours, the road paving budget is able to stay at 75. Part-time hours, the discussion, we agreed with a proposal to decrease part-time budget to 45,000, which still allows us to have 2 part-time employees at about 27 hours each per week. Our grant writer, the typical budget has been 10,000, which has not been spent in full since we've contracted her. So the discussion recommendation is to decrease that by 5,000 and ask Chrissy to accept a per grant contract. So instead of just being on all the time, when we have a grant, we'll send it to her. So we still have to discuss that with her. The additional 5,000 that we're reducing that by can potentially be used to pay for the GIS software costs to come late in 2026 that will aid in future stormwater sewer projects. Wish list items that were submitted and discussed. A new John Deere mower has been declined with machinery, equipment, and furniture line item to be decreased. With that, the repairs and maintenance line item will be increased. Cemetery hours, they wanted to increase it to 1,000. We still are waiting for a few official approval on that from the board, the cemetery board. It was previously 800. And then road carryover, not necessarily honored, but the budget will stay at 75,000. So it won't increase, but it's staying at 75. It was proposed by Harold that we may sell 2 trucks to buy a new one with a V-blade, and that has been declined. A cemetery lawnmower was reported in previous minutes that they have pushed that off to 2027. We discussed employee reviews, and that discussion included the mayor doing the reviews and then providing a summary to administrative process so that they can determine a proper increase if necessary or recommended. The discussion also included setting a max budget as it relates to increases. And we discussed employee evaluations being completed at the end of the first quarter, 2026. Brittany inquired about the status of our stormwater utility, and the stormwater utility income tax and levy or potential thereof of all 3 will be addressed in 2026 due to prioritizing the 2026 budget for the remainder of the year, 2 months. Income tax increase research and review showed that adding 0.5% would generate an estimated additional $141,755. Again, that will be discussed after the first of the year. Actionable items, final reading of the PEP faithful performance, we already did. First reading of our 2026 appropriation ordinance. Seek a grant contract in 2026 with our grant writer and ask her to look for grants for Washington Street. And then sheriff contract hours, we need to move that to a committee or assign a point person to communicate the changes to the sheriff's office.
So we have 4 actionable items. 1 was taken care of. The second one is going to be taken care of in new business. Did you get any response from Christie on doing her contract?
No, not yet.
Okay. Okay, and then the sheriff contract hours and committee. Should we send it to a committee or should we appoint a point person to communicate the changes to the sheriff's?
Under the impression that in the admin process, we were going to send it to safety committee.
Or we'll move it to a committee. We'll put it back on safety. Well, we'll put it on safety. And at that point, safety will take care of it and either assign a
We
point.
already have a point person who's already volunteered, so.
Oh, okay. Is that it for the actual items then? Planning commission.
Do we need to vote on moving it to a safety committee?
Yeah, let's do that.
I will move to move it to safety.
All right, yes. Wait a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
You have someone for your budget request there, Stephanie.
No, we got it. It's all in the appropriation.
Oh,
Everything else discussed.
I need to see it.
Okay, planning commission, we didn't have enough for a quorum on that one. We did have a individual that was part of the commission that was here and we basically discussed what we had talked about prior to the thing. So she got it up to speed a little bit of what we were trying to look for. So we're gonna continue on doing that 3rd Wednesday. what it sounds like, of the month. And that will resume again next month, so. Upcoming meetings, community development, public affairs, that would be 10/21 at 5:30. Safety, 10/27 at 6. Public Works, 10/28 at 6. And cemetery was moved to 11/13 at 6 p.m. Any other meetings? We will put that planning commission upon that.
Mhm.
Okay, we have new business. This would be first reading of 2026 appropriation ordinance. Okay. Has everybody had a chance to look at this? Because it's a lot to read out and the first reading, so. But this is an ordinance 2025 whatever, annual appropriation ordinance providing permanent appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures for the village of Weston. And this goes through December 31st of 2026. Consider that the first reading. We're gonna go with expenditures. Everybody had a chance to look at the bills that they have. We see a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Good. Miscellaneous business. This would be a TMCOG GA representation. Now, if I read this right, the mayor was the contact and we had a alternate,
Mhm.
which was Brittany. I don't know what anybody else wants to talk about. Is that we gonna keep her as the alternate and then me as the representative?
As right now, it still has
Jeremy.
Jeremy listed as our representative, so that would
So,
need
It
updated.
just either keep the alternate or update it to the current mayor. Or anybody else, really. Is it open to
Yep, it
anybody
can be
else?
anybody else. Any other elected official.
As the alternate there, I am usually not allowed to vote still when I attend.
So if both of you are there, yeah, you can't, but if they're, I think before it's because we didn't have the contacts updated right, so this is making it more official.
I knew I was the alternate.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to vote.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So are you,
Because that's, what's written here is exactly what they sent me.
So the whole reason of having the vote was if you were attending the meetings. If I attend the meetings like I have been, and I'm not allowed to vote still, like,
And I think this is just their general assembly.
so
what would allow you to vote?
if I was the thing, but like if anybody else wants to attend the meetings, like if Rick wanted to be the contact and have the voting thing, he would just have to attend the meetings though.
And then that would make your vote not eligible.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she has it in her fiscal forever. I'll read
Yeah.
it if you guys want. This says TMCOG has sent a document to review for contract information. The only outdated entry is that Jeremy Schroeder is still on the list of the General Assembly representative. This needs to be updated. Member unit representatives, each TMCOG member unit with the elected body is entitled to one voting representative to the General Assembly. This representative must be an elected official or an appointed executive directly accountable to local elected officials. Member units may also appoint an alternate representative to the General Assembly. The alternate may serve as a voting member when the primary representative is unable to attend a General Assembly meeting. However, the alternate cannot be elected to or serve on the governing board or current GA alternate, which is Brittany Kukowski, is listed correctly and does not require any updates. TMCOG typically conducts an annual reach out to verify contact information. So this would be a good practice for the village to review and formally approve GA representative on an annual basis. Now, with that being said, when is that timeline supposed to be? And should it be somewhere around the first of the year? Seems how,
The General Assembly.
I'm talking about the representative change.
Mhm.
When we get, obviously, new individuals
Yeah.
at the beginning of the year,
Probably
should be
when-
part of our,
Part of the first of the year thing, maybe like our committee list that
okay.
we just either confirm that the contact is still good or we update it.
Because they didn't really just specify a timeline. So-
No,
Put this on council and the mayor, beginning of the year, to activate a update.
And do they send out what they're voting on for the General Assembly ahead of time? I was trying to remember, and I don't remember whether or not.
You can view the agenda.
I was gonna say, I think when you register, they typically have an agenda and then they update it too, that you can go back and click on.
Well, I'm just saying what you'd be voting on from that aspect.
I don't think,
They send it to the members of the governing board.
So, you know,
But I mean,
And nobody's gonna receive.
what are you voting for? I mean, you're basically voting for us. That's my
When you're at TMACOG and you're voting on, it's how what they vote on is how TMACOG is structured and what their projects they're working on and how they're moving forward with projects.
That's my point.
He's asking if there's a list of potential
Yeah,
things.
is there a list?
Is there going to be communication before a vote?
It goes to the governing board, which you're a part of, so you would get
Well,
If he's listed.
nobody from Weston is part of the governing board.
currently.
So I'm just wondering how you determine what your vote's gonna be.
They're,
Well, can we send to them the update of your name and then
Mhm.
add it to the beginning of the year?
If I'm
Yeah,
elected, but with whatever the new
Well,
mayor,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
redo it at the beginning of the year.
I think that's a fair thing. Is that it on that? Anybody, any else discussions on that?
one of their big things, of having the person there that has the ability to vote is whether or not they have a quorum for their assemblies. So that's why they really want the people who have that ability to vote are the ones going to it often. Because they need to have that quorum, otherwise they have to like usually push things off to the next general assembly.
The representative can vote, but can the alternate vote?
everything to what they said.
As long as the representative's
I
not.
know, but
Every time that I've gone though, they give you,
I seem to think that Brittany's asking for something and I'm trying to get at what he's asking.
they give you a lanyard that has your name on it. And if you were a vote, like if you are allowed to vote, you have a green dot on your lanyard. I've never had the green dot, even as the alternate. And they know that Jeremy's not going. We responded that I was the only one attending. I've never had that green dot.
So
But
maybe,
it's not officially been registered that way. That's probably the reason. So once we get it
Well,
registered.
I've been registered as the alternate.
No, I'm saying Jeremy was, you were the alternate. Jeremy was the actual representative.
Yeah.
So I would imagine we got to straighten that out. And then that would allow you to do whatever.
For instance, if I was Jeremy or the mayor right now, I chose, I don't want to be involved in it. That would qualify you as having that green dot potentially.
You would have to tell them.
Yeah, you are our alternate.
Maybe she would be better as the
So
representative.
that's what I'm wondering. Would Brittany be better at the representative since she's the one attending and seems to be more connected?
I just didn't want to seem like I was taking it for myself.
Well, I was waiting,
The opportunity to be like, oh, I want to be involved. I want to do that.
are they still holding firm to only wanting mayors on the governing board?
That's what I'm also curious about, because I remember that was a big deal.
Used to be the big.
Yeah, that's,
They
yeah.
switched back over to it. They only wanted mayors on it.
So do you want some questions answered first?
Yeah. I think it's fair. That way we can
That's why,
end up on the January agenda and have a clear.
Mhm.
that's why I was labeled the alternate.
It's not like they're gonna have another general assembly yet this year. It won't be till what, January?
Yeah, not until January. Yeah, that's why I was labeled alternate in the first place. I may have volunteered Jeremy to be our representative and then told him. He was at the meeting. He just raised his hand.
All right, if that's it, we're gonna move on to visitors.
Night, everyone.
Hi.
Good night. Thank you. Do you have anything for council? Nothing at all? All right. You're with her, I take it? Do you have anything for council? All right,
I'm good.
you're good. Samantha?
I don't.
I
Travis?
got two things actually. First thing is 3-minute rule where you have to visitor speaking.
Hmm.
Is that being enforced at all? Because I've seen at previous meetings, people have talked for longer than 3 minutes.
They have, we've let them try to, if time allowed, we try to make sure that we address all their points, I guess.
I was just curious how that works.
I mean, typically it's 3 minutes, but
Yeah, I gotcha. And the second thing I was wondering is, I was under the impression that the village hired an attorney for the monument and the cemetery,
okay.
that issue. Was there any attempts at negotiating before an attorney was hired?
There was a conversation between the cemetery board and the individual. And obviously it's at that point where we can't really discuss it.
Well, I was just wondering, because like, that's not the only monument or structure in that cemetery that isn't made out of that specific material. Because what are the listed materials? Granite, bronze, and
It's granite, marble and bronze, and bronze typically the base plaque, the military base plaque.
yeah. Well, there's other structures in there. You can go like from other monuments to just straight up headstones. Like there's a couple headstones in there that are actual, they're like a metallic material. So I was just wondering, why is it being pressed now?
That would be a cemetery board issue. They wanted to tighten up the rules because I was involved in a couple of these discussions, and it was when somebody is in that grieving process, when they, have to put a loved one down, there's typically things that progressively take the allotted space. And those are the things, I mean, like the shepherd's poles, those are the things that they were trying to tighten up to be more conforming with the rules.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the cemetery. I mean, I'll just think if you do anything.
Yeah, that's about all I know about that.
I gotcha.
That it?
Yep, thank you.
All right, thank you. Nothing? Shirley? Okay. Mr. Stevens?
Yeah, I'm getting my mic turned on here, sorry.
All right.
Brief question. I know we voted to hire an attorney for $200 an hour regarding that monument issue. I know it probably will be in your minutes, but I would like to know, how did that vote go to hire that attorney? Who voted for and who voted against?
Well, we have always had a
Prosecuting.
line item for attorneys. We've had the prosecuting attorney as representation for us for the village stuff in the past, and for whatever reason, that just kind of got overlooked. And we had somebody from Paul Scaff's office that used to handle that. He was no longer there, and I think that's where the disconnect was. We've always had a prosecuting attorney on retainer. At that point, it was a typical rate of $50, and now it's went up to 150 total. And unfortunately, that's inflation, and that's the way it goes. So
There wasn't a vote to hire an attorney?
we actually voted on the placing the attorney on retainer last meeting, I believe.
Yeah, and that's all I'm asking. How did that vote go? Who voted for and who voted against?
Well,
Unanimously.
yeah, it was unanimously for that particular prosecutor to be representing of the village.
In all manners, not just.
Yeah, in all matters.
Ironically fell at
Have
that time.
representation.
Yeah, there was backdated
Yeah.
bills that needed paid to them, so they.
Yeah, this was not something just specifically for this incident. This was something that we had outstanding that was overlooked, and they weren't pressing it, and we kind of left it, unaware of it until that topic happened. And then we realized that our legal representation covers us, and he basically gives his opinion on how things should be written and stuff like that, but technically he doesn't pursue anything for that.
Yeah. Okay. I I really think that that whole situation could have been handled without an attorney, but here we are. Hopefully we can find a way out. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Patel,
No questions.
Ron Dallas,
I'm good, thank you.
Jeremy,
I'm okay as well, thanks.
thank you. If that is, everybody we have addressed, then we see a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
First and second, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Adjourned.